Hello! I have an announcement to make. It is called Korean Conversation Made Simple. It is 25 completely natural Korean conversations. The conversations, though, are what a native Korean would actually say. That includes things like slang, incorrect Korean, but they use it anyway, conversational only grammar forms. Every single sentence is explained in detail. There are also full audio files for all 25 conversations in the book. You can get it on Amazon. It's in PDF and ebook on my website as well. Check it out. So, we're going to be learning about humble speech today. Humble speech in Korean is known as 낮춤말. 낮추다 is a causative verb. It means to make something low, to lower something. So, lowered words. Honorific speech, as we learned before, shows extra respect towards someone who you're talking about. And it shows that extra respect by elevating the other person, metaphorically. So when you use honorific speech, it's like saying, I respect this person. I'm looking up to them. Humble speech does the exact same thing, but in a different way. Humble speech, though, however, does it by, instead of elevating the other person, it does it by actually lowering the speaker. It's by making the speaker lower that it makes the other person higher. So they both do the same thing, just different ways, right? And just like honorific speech, humble speech has this feeling. I want to express that I respect or look up to this person. So who do you use humble speech to? Just like honorific speech, teachers, your bosses, your coworkers, if you're not really close with them, leaders, or anyone that's in a higher rank than you. Grandparents, especially other people's grandparents, other people's parents, and possibly your own parents, but that depends on how you speak with your own parents. And especially strangers. So, humble speech is often used together with honorific speech, as I said, since they serve the same purpose. But the way it works is a little different, and it's not going to overlap with the same things. So you don't have to forget anything you learned about honorific speech. You're just going to add in a couple extra things. And using humble speech includes verbs, as well as using unique nouns. To really understand humble speech, we're going to have to learn a lot, and I mean a lot of different things. So I prepared a guide. The first verb we have to learn about is 드리다. It actually means the exact same thing as 주다, meaning to give. So instead of saying 주고 싶어요, I want to give it to you, now you can say 드리고 싶어요. So 드리다 sounds like you are lowering yourself, like you're kneeling down and offering something up to someone else. So it shows them extra respect. You're not just giving it to them, you're giving it to them with 드리다. Next is the verb 보다. You also might see it as 뵙다, which is the same thing just with another P up at the bottom. And that means 보다, to see. Or it could be to meet someone. So it's like you're lowering yourself and looking up at the person. 뵙고 싶어요 instead of 보고 싶어요. Okay, hope you're doing okay. We have to move on. There's still so much more stuff to cover. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah, I think that's... I don't think we need this anymore, actually. Let me give you a little bit more detail. The humble version of 주다 is 드리다. You can swap these one for one. In any sentence, picture 드리다 as a person kneeling down and offering up something to someone with both hands. And 주다 is simply giving it to someone like normal. So you would use 드리다 again to teachers, bosses, coworkers, maybe, leaders, anyone of a higher rank, grandparents, other people's family members, perhaps your own parents, strangers, or acquaintances if you don't know them very well. So anytime you're going to be giving something to someone, you want to be a little extra polite, right? So you give it to them with both hands and you're like, oh, here you go, instead of like yeeting it at their face, right? That's the feeling that 드리다 has. So I'm going to give you a few sentences with 드리다. 선생님께 드리고 싶었어요. So I wanted to give it, whatever it is, to, this is the honorific version of 에게, to the teacher. So I wanted to give it to the teacher. 선생님께 드리고 싶었어요. Just saying 선생님께 주고 싶었어요 sounds a bit lacking because you're saying 선생님께, which is like really elevating the teacher. When they hear 께, they're going to know, oh, you really respect or look up to this teacher. But then if you don't finish it with 드리다, if you use 주다 instead, it sounds like you're still just giving it to the teacher normally. Instead of 도와주고 싶어요, I want to help. Now you have 도와드리고 싶어요. 도와드리다 is the humble version of 도와주다. Since 드리다 does replace 주다 in all cases, any verb that has 주다 in it already, you can replace with 드리다. So 도와드리고 싶어요 is therefore I want to help. Same meaning as 도와주고 싶어요. But now it has the feeling of you're lowering yourself and offering your help. 이것도 드릴까요? So 이것, this thing. 이것도, so this thing too. 드릴까요? Should I give you or shall I give you? Should I give you this too? 제가, so I will. 만들다, to make. So 만들어, instead of 주다, to make something for someone, we have 만들어 드리다. 만들어 드릴게요. So I will make it. 게요, you promise to do something or you will do something. I will make it for you or for someone, whoever you're talking to. 제가 만들어 드릴게요. So I will make it for you. The next verb that we have to talk about, or actually I should say two verbs, are pueda. And pueda is just pueda with a extra p up on the bottom. They have the exact same meaning, and they even have the exact same conjugation. They both conjugate as pueo, or shortened most often to pue. This used to be the common way to say nice to meet you, a polite way. 처음 뵙겠습니다. You might want to still say this if you're meeting someone who's much older, because it sounds very formal. Nice to meet you. Literally, it means I am 뵙다. I am humbly seeing you or meeting you for the first time. 처음. So I must be seeing you for the first time. This must be the first time we've met. Instead, nowadays, you'll just use 반가워요 or 반갑습니다 or 만나서 반가워요. 만나서 반갑습니다. Like that. This verb is, again, 보다. 보다 is to see, or it could be to meet someone. Although this one is 보다, you cannot use this to replace the 보다 auxiliary verb. 해 보다, like to try doing something, to try. Or 먹어 보다. You can't say 먹어 뵈다. 뵙다 is very slightly more formal, but less common. So 뵈다 is the main one that you're going to want to know. 내일 봬요. So I'll see you, or I'll meet you tomorrow. 봬요. Instead of 내일 봐. 안녕. 내일 봐. See you tomorrow for your friends. 내일 봬요. See you tomorrow. This one is more appropriate for people who aren't your close friends. 그럼, well then, or then. 언제, when. 다시, again. 뵈다, to see or meet. 뵐 수 있을까요? So then, when can we meet again? When could we see each other again? When could we meet again? 그럼 언제 다시 뵐 수 있을까요? Also, I should note that humble verbs cannot be combined with honorific verb endings. You cannot make this 들이시다 because, again, 들이다 lowers the speaker and 시다 raises the person you're talking about. So that would be both lowering and raising yourself at the same time. Like, it's not quantum physics here. The same way you can't do 뵈시다 because you yourself are doing the seeing. You wouldn't use honorific speech when referring to yourself. I said that there are humble verbs and humble nouns. Uh-oh, that sounds really complicated. Oh my goodness, I don't know if we can deal with this. I'll just give you the first humble noun. We'll take things slow. Don't panic. Take a deep breath. I hope this isn't too much for you. This is our first humble noun. I'm gonna leave it up here for about 20 minutes so you can think about it. So, 저 is humble. It lowers the speaker. It's not just polite, it's humble. You want to know what the non-humble version of 저 is? It's 나. It doesn't show any extra respect towards someone else. There's one more. 저. Okay, well, we already saw this one, but hold on. Oh my goodness, this is too hard. This is just the humble version of 우리. So us or we or my, 저, he. So if you want to be very humble, that's it. Okay, if you are here as a beginner, your lesson is over. If you're advanced, we're going to be covering two more humble verbs that you should know. 모시다. It looks like an honorific verb because it ends with 시다, but it's a humble verb. This means 데리다, which is to bring someone somewhere. You probably have seen this as 데리고 가다, 데리고 오다, or 데려가다, 데려오다. Well, now you can say 모셔 가다, 모셔 오다, 모시고 가다, 모시고 오다. So if you're going to bring your boss to the airport, 공항에 to the airport, 사장님을, the boss, 모시고 갔어요. So I took my boss and I went to the airport. 공항에 사장님을 모시고 갔어요. So I brought my boss to the airport. You wouldn't say 데리고 갔어요 for your boss. The next one is 여쭈다. Now, 여쭈다 is also sometimes 여쭈다. However, they both conjugate the same way as this. 여쭈어 or 여쭈. 여쭈다 is just a tiny bit more respectful, but less common. This one means to ask. So it actually equals 묻다, which is to ask. 선생님께 여쭤봤어요. So I asked the teacher. Literally, I asked to the teacher. So that just shows extra respect toward the teacher. Oh, either K, I got my whole sweatshirt in the mail. Really? Did you buy something? Hold on. I actually have some of my own merch, but I never wear it because I'm too afraid of ruining it. This is my personal favorite. I know I wasn't the first person to do this. I have the best design for it, I think. And then the other one I have is this one, which is me and Kikat. 참 잘했어요. It's like good job sticker that the teacher would give you. And it would have 철수 and 영희, the two common Korean characters. So I just redid the same thing with me and Kikat. Plug some merch, right? That is the entire lesson for today. Thank you everyone for coming. And I will see you again next time. 그럼 다음에 또 봐. Oh wait. 그러면 다음에 또 봬요.